身下坠，不知疲累，可笑的可悲，究竟是谁生来而负罪？
追上来了！月姐姐，
Holy shit, that was long. And it looked like, well, I haven't translated it yet, but it looked like Yue was about to be siding with them, maybe, but then Yue then did something else instead. But Raizo? Really? Again? It was so obvious, wasn't it? Bruh. Okay, I'm disappointed that it wasn't voiced. This is an important story, but it wasn't voiced. Why? Okay. So yeah, I think this video is gonna be an hour long. I will need to translate everything. I don't know how long will take. But yeah, 2 new maps. This one and this one. First, let's just take a look on how to play this map. Both of them. Just an extra before we end this video. Both are 3 stars. This looks difficult though. All the shortcuts were confusing a bit. But it's 3 stars, really? Okay, both both are ISO recommended. Let's take a look. These parts are all easy. This part I just had to stay at the start. A lot of drift jump in this. This one no need. This is a shortcut. I wonder what happens if we go higher. Okay, 136 for this map. This looks like Dragon Crystal Lake, but it doesn't look like a lake. So oh, it is a lake, I can see it. Damn, this place, man. And that's it. Oh, it's 2 laps. We only take 1 lap this time. Yeah, there's a shortcut within a shortcut. Crystal here. Okay, that's 141. Alright, so that's it for the new map story and also a preview of the 2 new maps. That's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.